but actually the master is not away. He is here with us. So I don't know who else is watching the place. I am Torgo. I watch after the place while the master is away. The master is here, so I have no idea who's watching the place. You know the jig. I look after the place, yada yada. The master is with us, so I don't know who's watching the place. One of those will be a good take.
The countdown to terror has begun.
The signal's getting stronger now. It won't be long.
Come quick! The monster done ate my pappy!
Do you really think this was a bear, Doc?
Highly unlikely. First man on Mars. Once he was human.
There's something shiny in the rock. This is really starting to sting.
Now a bloodthirsty monster, killing and devouring the young. And not so innocent.
Let's take a look at this, huh?
I'm gonna blast the thing back to hell.
Oh, shit.
First man on Mars.
You mean there's aliens out here? Shit, I don't want to get ducted in anal.
This film is not rated.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to Horror Mike's Friday Night Spectacular. And indeed, do we have a show lined up for you tonight? There's a variety of things. Of course, definitely the Tubi scene has kind of exploded a bit. It is the new month, July, and they have added, quite a few films. Less 70s, 80s exploitation, more mainstream stuff, but some really good films in the lineup. And you just watched Johnny Quest. They have added Johnny Quest to the Tubi lineup, and we're going to be taking a closer look at that later this evening. But first, without further ado, let's take a look at the chat, shall we, and see who we have in our studio audience. Good Lord. Werewolf by Lunchtime is on the scene. Good day, Mike. Hope you are doing well. I am actually doing better than last week. So I'm improving bit by bit. So it's so far so good. Thanks for asking, Werewolf. Eric is on the scene. Good God, Horror Mike. Great to see you. Thank you, Eric. Good to see you too, man. Eric also says, this is the only place to be on Friday night. I concur, my good man. Eric, thank you, sir, for the kind words. Good God. Werewolf says, or Saturday morning, folks. There you have it right there. Testimonials. The only place to be on Friday night or Saturday morning. So there you have it. I think that pretty much answers those questions. Eric says, keep your time travel degeneracy to yourself there in Australia. Werewolf says, sorry, past Eric. There's a time travel rift happening now. Yes. And Eric says also, Race Bannon gonna put a cap in some fucker's ass. Yes. Oh, he does too. And I've watched, of course, a few of the episodes so far since they've added it on Tubi. And, of course, look, it's probably been 40 years since I've seen an episode of Johnny Quest. Yes, it was better back in the day. Yeah, sure. But still, I mean, as far as Hanna-Barbera goes, or any, if you want to talk about animated cartoons back in that era, still one of the best. There's no doubt about it, man. I mean, they really do have some good ones. It's just, I mean, yeah, there are certain things that you're really impressed with at a younger age. You kind of find lacking upon revisiting those things. But look, yeah, the animation is great. They do have some really interesting stories within the Johnny Quest thing. And of course, it triggered the entire Venture Brothers deal, which is rather amusing. So, okay, guys, good to see y'all tonight. And look, we're going to, obviously the title of my show, $5 sci-fi pre-code comic. You can buy it now. It's true. Apparently, recently, now when I mean, recently within the last few years, there was a Wherehouse find of this particular science fiction comic book, which was published in 1951. And so we're going to look at that very soon here. And first off, what we want to do is go over to Bud Plant. Or, well, I'm going to call him Bud Plant forever. It's Bud's Artbooks now, but people back in the day know and love him as Bud Plant. We have a few people in the scene here. Devil Flyer, huh? I didn't expect you, sir. Hail, Mike. Hail back at you, Devil Flyer. Eric says, I love Venture Brothers. Go Team Venture. It is such a great show. And they really did. I think they love Johnny Quest, those guys. And they were just like, hey, let's just do this insane takeoff of Johnny Quest. And yeah, it just absolutely fantastic. Devil Flyer says off to work soon. Good luck with the work scene, Devil Flyer. But yeah, I do love Venture Brothers. I don't know what the hell's going on with Venture Brothers now. I had heard there was another season planned, but I don't know if anybody in the chat is aware of the status of Venture Brothers. Please chime in, because it's a great show. I don't know if it's available. Like, did they put the whole thing on Blu-ray or DVD or anything? I just like to get the entire series if possible, But in any case, guys, first off, we're going to go to, as I say, we are going to head over to Bud's Artbooks, because they have new arrivals, and they have some really great new arrivals here, folks. Wait until you check this stuff out. Once again, PS Artbooks, which is just, they're steamrolling along. Oh, that's all I can say, man. It's just incredible. As you can see here, all of this is PS Artbooks. And we start off with Black Magic. Now, I have a couple of issues of the original comic book, pre-code horror comic book, Black Magic. Most of the covers were done by Jack Kirby, early 1950s, long before the Fantastic Four and Thor and all that stuff. It's Jack Kirby and Joe Simon. And I think I've shown you that great book. I think it's called The Art Studio of Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. Gigantic book. Fantastic. They reprint a ton of original art in the book. including a few stories from Black Magic. And so this is volume 3, I believe. They say that. Yeah, volume 3. Now, there's one thing I've noticed, and it's just a sign of the times, folks. It is a sign of the times. Look, 3 years ago, they were selling the soft cover editions. This is what they call softy format, soft cover. They were selling these volumes for $20. They're now $33. It's a sign of the freaking times. Everything has gone up. And that's more than 30% increase. That's like a strong 35% increase, which is kind of shocking. But nonetheless, Black Magic had some great stories and certainly some fantastic Jack Kirby covers. There's no doubt about that. Weird. There's one right there. There's another cover for Black Magic. Just really, really cool shit. This one I always loved. Of course, want a hair-raising experience? Take a ride to the 13th floor. So great. You can see it, that the whole Kirby, thing going on. You can just spot him in a second, man. Great stuff. Great stuff. Black Magic volume number 3. Adventures into the Unknown. This is volume 22. Now, for people unaware, Adventures into the Unknown was one of the longest running series in the 1950s from ACG, American Comics Group. And this is, unfortunately, volume 22, and previous volumes, they had already gone into the Comics Code era. So this is like 1957, 58, 59. And they're just boring as hell. I'm just going to put it that way. I just find them, the pre-code Adventures into the Unknown, some of those are really good. But once the Comics Code Authority came in, it just sucked the life out of so many, comic books. That's why horror and science fiction and crime failed so miserably in the late 50s, is they just couldn't do anything worth a damn because of the stupid code. But here we go with Plastic Man Volume 2. Now, of course, it's the great Jack Cole, inventor of Plastic Man. And, Plastic Man, like, I wouldn't consider this like one of my favorite types of covers. A little more humorous. I liked his more psychedelic stuff. This stuff seems to be all in the humor. Yeah. Like this, they featuring this weird guy with this hat. Not a fan. I like the earlier Plastic Man where it's really insane and very, very much out there. This is 1946 to 1947. Or maybe it's after this period that he gets better. I don't know. Not really sure. But in any case, this is Plastic Man Volume 2. Now, this one is really cool looking. A lot of people don't realize that Steve Ditko did Space Adventures featuring Captain Atom, his character, in the late 50s. Now, this one collects issues 32 through 36 from 1960, but it began in the late 50s. And this here is his origin in issue number 33 and first 4 adventures. Blast off into space with arguably the best Steve Ditko hero of the Spider-Man era, created before Spidey. Captain Atom, created by Joe Gill and Steve Ditko. Very cool stuff right there. And once again, I'm just going to say it, $53 for the hardcover. Folks, that's shocking as hell. It wasn't that long ago. I was paying 25, maybe $30 for hardcovers of the collected volumes from PS Artbooks. It's just hard to freaking believe they've gone up to $53. Wow. That is a shocker right there. Let's get back. I know we probably have a couple of. Eric says, I heard there was going to be a Venture Brothers movie. They have seasons of Venture Brothers available on DVD. Not cheap, though, I imagine. Yeah. That Adventures Brothers movie would be awesome. That would be great. Eric says, I hope people will lick that like button. Ah, God, yes. There you go. Werewolf says, candles in an elevator, I would feel Candles in an elevator, I would feel completely safe. Yes. Eric also says, that Ditko version of Captain Atom is in the public domain. That's awesome. That is totally awesome, man. I like that character too, Captain Atom. I remember him. PS Artbooks also put out, it's a single copy of Psycho magazine. This is a replica facsimile of issue number 3. And once again, price has gone up. It's $23 for a single magazine. Woo! That's kind of steep. And Francesco Francavilla right here, Night of the Ghoul. Folks. It looks interesting. I have not read this. It's $20, issues 1 through 3 collected in this volume. I like Francavilla's work. I think he's quite a good artist. As far as new artist goes, yeah, man. I think he's pretty good. Very cool. Kind of classic style. Cool stuff. Young Hellboy, I have no idea. Character design quarterly is new. Franz Wasik. Sorry about that. Book on him. Hailstone, don't know. There is a new EC Archives Vault of Horror Volume 3, folks. That is out. And that's $20. Now let's take a look at this, shall we? I just want to see. It collects issues 24 to 29. This gruesome grimoire features remastered colors based on Marie Severin's original tones and includes the Al Feldstein, Jack Davis adaptation of the Ray Bradbury story, Let's Play Poison. This is from Dark Horse 2023. 216 pages. Now, that's what I call extremely reasonable. $20, 216 pages. It's soft cover, but that's what I would call very reasonable for a collected volume in soft cover. And so there you go. Then that's a good price. That is a good price. Mighty Marvel Masterworks. There are several of these. This is the Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4, featuring one of the most iconic Spider-Man stories, of course, the final chapter cover on issue number 33. Steve Ditko. I mean, everybody talks about that to this day. There's no doubt about it. It's one of those greats. And this is, let's take a look here. You got 216 pages. So it's the entire story arc. The Master Planner Saga. It's as perfect a Spider-Man story as you'll ever find, including one of the most iconic moments in Marvel history. Peter's first days on campus at Empire State University introduces you to Gwen Stacy for the first time, teases something strange afoot with Norman Osborn, and features villains from the colorful Kraven the Hunter to the crazed J. Jonah Jameson. Marvel 2023. Nice. That is a nice collection. $16. That, once again, that's a very good price. It's 216 pages. Soft cover, but pretty damn good for the price there, All right. Understanding superhero comic books. Okay. I guess for those who don't understand them for some reason. Mae Morris book. Here we go, folks. Eerie Archives Volume 1. Soft cover edition. $22. Collects issues number 1 through 5. This is very key. This also features the ultra rare Eerie number 1, for which there are only 200 ashcan copies originally printed. That is great that they did that. Once again, this is Dark Horse 2023. I like what Dark Horse is doing with these reprints now. Excellent stuff. You got Frazetta, Al Williamson, Gray Morrow, Alex Toth, Steve Ditko, Gene Colan, Joe Orlando, and stories by, of course, Archie Goodwin. $22, 256 whopping pages, soft cover. That's a hell of a deal. I've got this one bookmarked. There's no doubt about it. I have the original issue number 2, of which this is the cover of, the Sorcerer cover. I do not have issue number 1, the Ashcan. That's the holy grail right there, folks. Only 200 Ashcan copies originally printed. Rare AF. Okay, that's what I'm saying right there. Several new issues of Illustration Magazine, 81, 82, and 83. Marvel Masterworks, The Fantastic Four, Volume 1. Right here, folks. On sale for $65. Great stuff. Hardcover, of course. Illustration Magazine number 84. Here's some more Marvel Masterworks. Captain America Volume 15. Also on sale for $65. Hardcover. Spectacular Spider-Man Volume 6. $65 hardcover. Ghost Rider Volume 5. Also $65 in the Marvel Masterworks series. Some other good stuff. The Defenders Omnibus Volume 2. Woo! $90. Yay! There you go. Superior Spider-Man, I don't know. Black Cat, something. I guess, yeah, I know the Black Cat. I've seen this person, this character. But this is really freaking cool. The Avengers Omnibus Volume 1 was one of my favorite Avengers covers. Of course, it's issue number 1. Just classic Kirby with that original Iron Man. I just love this shit. Oh my God. It is great, man. It's so good. It's so good. This is 2023 from Marvel. Collects issues number 1 through 30. 1963 to 1966, highly recommended. Let's check the page count. 776 pages, folks. That's why it's $90. That makes total sense. Of course, it's hardcover. Woo! That is a hell of a collection right there. That is one hell of a collection. Unfortunately, as it says here, temporarily out of stock. More due soon. Wow. Yeah, that's it. Okay. That's it for the Bud Plant new arrivals. Let's go back and see what we got. Hi, Easy Comic Readers on the scene. Hello, Easy Comic Reader. How you doing? Good God, man. All right, guys. Well, we've just taken a look at Bud's new arrivals, okay? And somehow that is weird. Not quite sure why that did that, but take a look here. Okay. Got it. All right, guys. Now what we're going to do. All right. Without further ado, I know I'm keeping you guys in suspense. On this comic book, this pre-code sci-fi comic book that you can buy right now for $5, you'll never see anything like it. I guarantee it. This is not going to happen again. It's a freak that it happened. As I was telling you, it's a warehouse find of maybe a couple of years ago, and various dealers got a hold of this, got a hold of copies of this, and so you will see it. It's on. You'll find it on eBay. People have tons of copies on eBay to sell. I imagine they found a few thousand copies in a warehouse. But Bud Plant also has it, Bud's Artbooks. And so we're going to take a look at that right now, folks. Drum roll, please. Something like that. Yes, it's Major Inapac, the Space Ace. $5 on Bud's Artbooks. Now check this out, folks. First, let's take a look at and see what Bud says. Art and cover by Bob Powell. The entire comic book is drawn by the great Bob Powell, folks. One of the absolute masters, late 40s into the 50s, well into the 50s, maybe into the 60s. Bob Powell, just an incredible artist. What happened is this. Okay. Sci-Fi Adventure giveaway offered with Inapac powdered drink mix. Now, Inapac was a powdered drink mix much like Ovaltine. So they did this crazy advertising stunt where when you bought a, container of the Inapac drink mix, you got a free comic book. And it was Major Inapac, the Space Ace. This is not related to Magazine Enterprises' later Space Ace title, okay? This was a one-shot. In the far-off future of 1982, a stowaway child helps Major Inapac defend Earth from an alien planet cleverly hidden behind Earth's moon. Major Inapac demonstrates household science experiments, including the many uses of Inapac chocolate-flavored powdered drink mix, published by Magazine Enterprises in 1951. Condition very good to fine. And it says curled corners and or cover wear. Now, keep that in mind right there, folks. What you're looking at, when I saw this, I was like, all right, well, I figured that, they're probably somewhere between 4 to 5.0. That's what I thought, And turns out I wasn't wrong. Here, let me show you what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah. Okay. Because I got one. I bought an issue from Bud's plant from Bud's Artbooks. Here it is. Absolutely no curled corners. I'm not quite sure where they got that from. It's flat as a board. Still got gloss on the cover. The cover, I mean, as you can see, it's in pretty damn good shape. I put this at a solid 5.0. There is no doubt about it. It's got a couple of minor dings, edge dings. There's the ad for In a Pack drink mix. As you can see, it's in pretty freaking great shape. All right. Now, look, they probably printed like 500,000 of these things for, this giveaway in a pack. So there were quite a few of them, but technically speaking, even though it wasn't from a publisher, like for instance, I don't know, Avon or Atlas or any of those guys. It was actually published by Magazine Enterprises, which was a legit publisher. The Inapac, just the company, got them to publish this comic book. It is definitely pre-code. Okay, this is 1951. Doesn't have the Comics Code Authority. It is absolutely a pre-code sci-fi comic book. Okay. I'm going to put that down for a second. I'm going to put the link in the chat here. And the thing is that here's how it goes, folks. I don't care what kind of pre-code comic book you're talking about. Does not matter. From 1948 to 1955, well, the end of 1954, they all have a certain shelf life, okay? This comic book is 72 years old, okay? Yes, there are many of them. You can get them dirt cheap right now because of this Wherehouse find. They're not going to stay around. That's not going to happen, folks. Look, in 10 years, I guarantee you it's going to be worth $50. And you may think to yourself, well, that's really not that great, but it is. Because in reality, in 10 years, if it's $50, you've got a return of better than 30%. Go talk to a stockbroker and ask him about that percentage, that return. His eyes will bug out of his head. So in any case, that's what it is. Just another, I do want to show you this from the comics database. There we go. Major Inapac, the Space Ace #1, one shot, 20 pages. It's one of those, And yeah, all in the same format as a normal comic book, produced and copyrighted in 1951 by Magazine Enterprises. A premium offered with Inapac powder drink mix. And cover, of course, by Bob Powell, the great Bob Powell. Signed as Bob Powell, as Powell, but all of the interiors signed by Bob Powell as well. He does the entire damn thing. If it was just some schlep they got to do the art for, I wouldn't be that interested. But it's Bob Powell, folks. I mean, he's just one of the greats. The stuff that he did in the pre-code crime and horror era, sci-fi era, is fantastic. He was truly one of the greats. And I think that the corporation Inapac made the right move by getting him to do the entire comic book. So once again, for $5, it is absolutely the best deal you are ever going to get on pre-code sci-fi, horror, crime, whatever the hell comic book you're ever going to find. You're not going to get it any cheaper. It's Major Impact, the Space Ace #1, on sale right now at Bud's Artbooks for $5. I mean, it's just it's a no-brainer. Okay, guys. So there you go. Good Lord. Good Lord, y'all. It's Chad on the scene. Hello, Chad. That's great cover art. It is. It is quite nice indeed. It's Bob Powell. I mean, it's hard. You know, it's really kind of hard to beat Bob Powell at that time. He was just cooking on all cylinders, you know. Meyer is on the scene. Hey, guys, get your Major in a pack. There it is. $5. $5. $5. $5. $5. Come on. Easy Comic Reader just ordered one, $5 to ship. Not bad. $10 and all. No, it's not. You know, when I bought mine, I was already buying another magazine. So I was like, fuck, man, I'll just, you know, I put it in there and, you know, it was just a little bit more on the shipping. I was like, oh, come on. This is like, I probably should have bought two, to tell you the truth. But I didn't really know what the condition was. But, you know, just to show you guys again, it's in pretty damn good shape. Okay, the copy I got. And I trust Bud Plant. I mean, if they're going to say something as far as description, condition of said comic book or book, it's pretty much going to be spot on. So, you know, you're looking at like a 4 to 5.0 condition. That's insane. There's not, you know, $5. Are you kidding me? Good Lord. It's just ridiculous. You just can't beat it, folks. Come on now. Come on. It's insane. It's insane, I tell you. Yeah. So in any case, that's the reveal right there, folks. And I cannot recommend it enough. Let's put it this way. It's a $5 investment, which is nothing. It's kind of like $5. You know, you can find that in your couch. And it's going to go up. It's just inevitably, as I tell you, 10 years from now, you can turn around. I'm sure it's going to be, you're going to see copies for $50 in that condition range. It's going to happen. It's never going to be spectacular like the other pre-code horror and sci-fi comics, obviously, because it was a promotional giveaway. And they probably printed 500,000 of these freaking things. And then they found, you know, of course, this Wherehouse find, which is why Bud Plant is selling them so damn cheap. $5. I'm sure Bud Plant was like, yeah, I'll take 1,000 of those. Come on, let's do it. And so they've just got probably an endless amount, which is fantastic, by the way. Let's see who's on the scene. Michael Taylor is on the scene. Hello, Michael Taylor. How you doing? He also says, very cool Space Ace indeed. Good Lord. Meyer says, there must have been thousands of these. I bought mine about 10 years ago. Yes, Meyer. Yeah. And then I was reading on another website, and they said there was a recent Wherehouse find. Like, so there, not only, you know, to top that off, not only did they print like 500,000 of the freaking things, but then like a few years ago, apparently they found thousands of them in a warehouse. Bud Plant got a hold of God knows how many. And so now he's selling them for $5 a pop. It's great. There is no downside to this, folks. There is only upside to Major Inapac Space Ace. That's all there is to it. You know, and so bookmark that. I'm going to put it in the thing again. Oh, that's not it. Sorry. Good Lord. Where did I put that? Ah, there it is. Ah, there. Yeah, I've got it in there. There it is, folks, on Bud's Artbooks. If you're interested, the link is in the chat. Jacob is on the scene. Hello, Jacob. How are you doing? Good to see you, my good man. Just a quick recap. I see that people have joined us in the last couple of minutes. Folks, if you are interested in that comic book that I was talking about, the Pre-Code Sci-Fi comic book, we just went through it. I'm going to post the link once again in the chat here. Bud's Artbooks is selling this. There was a warehouse find. It's Major Inapac, the Space Ace, published in 1951. There was a warehouse find. Bud Plant got, I don't know, like 1,000 copies or something, at least hundreds of copies from this warehouse find. And so they're selling them for $5 a piece. It's a no-brainer. You can't go wrong. Let me put it that way. Not only that, but it's Bud Powell art, folks. The entire comic book, including the cover, is Bud Powell, the great freaking Bud Powell. No doubt about it. I mean, I'll state it again. Look, if it wasn't Bud Powell, if they just got some guy to, they're one of their staff artists to do it, it wouldn't be nearly as great. But it's really quite good. I mean, it's just a 20-page story, which is basically kind of a really large ad for Inapac drink. That's what it was. You got it free when you bought a container of Inapac drink mix. That was the idea, But for $5, you can't beat it, folks. Come on now. All right, guys. Without further ado, you know what's coming. Oh, yes, you do. Go. There we go. And it's Tubi. Tubi. There they are. I know. Good Lord. So I know you guys have been waiting to see Bad Girls Club, that reality drama. So they've added that to me. Good Lord. Help me. All right. I'm going to my list. There we go. All right, guys. Check it out. Now, I know we went through the last two tankers in 1942, but here it is. They have added Johnny Quest. God dang. It's so great. I'm definitely going to catch some more episodes. It is season 1 and season 2, which is fantastic, by the way. It's just great. All the classics are here. The Frogman, of course, the robot spider, the mummy, of course, the giant mummy. Just all the great ones, I mean, good Lord. And now I'm going to absolutely fantastic. Johnny Quest. There it is, folks. I mean, come on. It is now on Tubi. Add it to your list. You're going to get if you haven't seen Johnny Quest in years, I think you're still going to get a kick out of it. I watched a few episodes. I plan on watching a few more. definitely. Yeah, it's just great nostalgia, really. It's Johnny Quest, man. Let's take a look at the comments, see what we got here. Easy Comic Reader says, I'm a cheap bastard. So I'm checking out the closeout merch. Hey, man, I always check out the closeout merch as well. I just look at various things on Bud Plant's site. Not only that, Easy Comic Reader, but if you haven't ordered from Bud Plant before or in a while, they will send you a new catalog, which is always great, man. Bud Plant is one of the few dudes that still puts out a physical catalog, and I love it. Oh my God, it is just great stuff. Russell Poland is on the scene. Hello, Russell. How you doing? Good to see you, man. Jacob says, Tubi time. Good God, man. Yes. Johnny Quest, Easy Comic Reader. Yes. Russell says Johnny Quest is the best. Bandit, Meyer. Yes, indeed. Meyer says, maybe the best 30-minute adventure cartoon ever. It could be, Meyer. Look, Hanna-Barbera did some great stuff back in the day. I think maybe people agree that in that entire period, Johnny Quest may have been the best. I liked other Hanna-Barbera stuff. There's no doubt. Even some of the live action stuff too. But Johnny Quest was just something else, just fantastic. Russell says that theme song is the baddest ever. Yeah, it's great, man. Kick-ass theme song, great intro. It gets you pumped, it's just fantastic. Michael Taylor says, very cool that Tubi added Johnny Quest. It is. I was totally shocked. I was like, geez, Louise, man. So that really means that they've got a tag on Hanna-Barbera stuff. They're probably going to start adding more like 60s, 70s Hanna-Barbera. That's what I'm thinking. I think they've got a line on the old HB catalog, if you know what I mean. And I think that you do. Russell says, got them on DVD, grew up on it. Awesome stuff. That is totally cool, Russell. That's a great way to go, too. Love to do that. All right, guys. So we've looked at Johnny Quest, dragged across concrete. Talk about a switch up. 2018. If you guys have not
At
seen
drivetime.com?
this, oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. They're trying to get me, but they won't. Folks, if you haven't seen Dragged Across Concrete, you got to see this freaking movie. Look, if you're into crime thrillers, this is one to see. God, Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn are the leads. And boy, do they kick fucking ass in this film. They're so good. Two embittered police detectives suspended from duty descend into the criminal underworld and find more than they wanted waiting in the shadows. Craig Zoller, folks. Craig Zoller may ring a bell. That's, let's just go to his thing here. Bone Tomahawk. That is Craig Zoller. Brawl and Cell Block 99 is also Craig Zoller. He also wrote the screenplay to Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich, amongst other films. But there you go. If that doesn't convince you to watch Dragged Across Concrete, I don't know what will. It's hardcore.
Need a small business.
Oops. No, you don't. In any case, highly recommended. If you want a good crime drama, Jesus, 2018, Dragged Across Concrete. It is awesome. 310 to Yuma. Now, this is the remake, of course, with Russell Crowe and Christian Bale. I like it. The only thing I didn't like about this film, and without giving away anything, I didn't like the very end. I didn't like the resolution of the end. There's a bit of a head scratcher going on with that. Everything else about this film, I think, is done extremely well. And I have not seen the original in many years, so I think I'm going to have to go back and watch it. But I liked it. I like this film. I like this 2007 remake. For the most part, it was really quite good. And, so there you go. It's now on Tubi. And of course, the Starving Games. God, this is another one of those totally ridiculous comedy takeoffs on it's, they stuff like 5 or 6 different blockbuster type movies into one film. And of course, this is largely a takeoff on the Hunger Games, which is great. They do skewer the Hunger Games very well in a couple of sequences. It's really quite hilarious. So there you go. It's just ridiculous. It's a ridiculous. If you want one of those, insane comedies, kind of like Scary Movie type of thing. It's the Starving Games, folks. 2013. I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, it's just stupid fun. There you go. With some sharp satire on some blockbuster films. I gotta say, they did peg some of those films really well. So there you go. Silverado. I have not watched this one again since it has just been put on Tubi. 1985. I remember seeing it probably in the 80s, mid to late 80s. I probably saw the damn film. And I remember liking it. So I put it on my list. I don't know if you guys recall this film, Silverado, but, it looks pretty good. As I recall, it was decent. Kevin Kline is in a few people in this. Danny Glover, I think.
Drive.
Yeah, Danny Glover, Kevin Costner, Scott Glenn, and Kevin Kline. In the 1800s Old West, an unlikely band of misfit friends teams up in a shoot-'em-up against a frontier town's crooked sheriff and his henchmen. Classic Western scenario. And there it is, Silverado. I don't know. I liked it the first time, but of course it's been like almost 40 years. So I don't know. Who the hell knows? I do know about this one, though. An epic. This is a 3-hour film from 2003. Shattered City, the Halifax Explosion. If you guys aren't familiar with the history of the Halifax Explosion, it was a huge freaking disaster in Halifax, Nova Scotia. The true story of the disastrous explosion that cost 2,000 lives and injured 9,000 people when 2 ships collided at Halifax Harbor, Canada in 1917. And man, is it well done. You want to see this is, it's kind of like how could you put this? The explosion was something like a small nuclear bomb. That's really what it was. I mean, it just freaking flattened everything around it. It's pretty hardcore. It's a really great 3-hour film. It is not boring. They really do a good job building with, it's just one of those things. Incredible mishap, disaster that occurred in the harbor. And I think they just do a great job. Highly recommended. Shattered City, the Halifax Explosion, 2003. put it on your Tubi list if you're into like, based upon real events, true events. This is an absolute event that happened. One of the I think it's listed. I mean, as far as Canadian disasters, it's one of the greatest. There's no doubt about that. It may be one of the greatest disasters in North American history. I have to look into that, but it's incredible. Great film. Highly recommended. Oh, they got some. Once again, as you can see, all of these are kind of large budget films. Not much in the way of low budget, 60s, 70s, 80s exploitation films this time around. But nonetheless, some good freaking movies. I tell you, I got to tell you. Okay, let's take a look here. Let me get back to the chat. Michael Taylor says it would be interesting to see a live action Johnny Quest. They could do it easily now. Yeah, that would, that could be done. Or bring back a Johnny Quest animation. Sure, do a movie. Eric says the 310 to Yuma was pretty good. I agree concerning the ending. Yeah, the ending was a slight head scratcher. It just, I don't know. There was something about it. I was just like, no. That really wouldn't happen like that. No, not quite. So, I was just kind of like, man, such a good movie, really just all the way through. And it was kind of like they just kind of ended the script. And I was like, okay, this is how you resolve it? What the hell? I don't know. It was weird. Well, let's just put it that way. Just, I don't know. Michael Taylor says, do it like they're doing animation these days in movies. I'm not quite sure what you would mean by that. I would rather they do cell animation. No computer stuff. I hate computer animation, personally. I just, Minions, all that shit. Ugh. But it makes me sick. They could do cell animation. They could do like Akira. Have it all done in Japan. That would be fantastic. Eric says, that would be great if done right, Michael Taylor. However, during current atmosphere, people would get all butthurt concerning Haji. They would. You're absolutely. I guess they would, but maybe. I don't know if the Indian people would. They may even like it. Because, Haji's a good character in the cartoon. He works with Johnny, and they get into their little, side plots and stuff. But he's a smart guy. He's always studying and all that stuff. I know that, of course, yeah, white liberals would just flock to, completely try to can a film like that. I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. But at the same time, I think Indian people would be like, yeah, that's actually really good. I wonder how Indian people view the original Johnny Quest. That's a good question. Because I thought his character, look, as a kid, I was always like, yeah, Haji's totally cool. I don't know. He was played up as being a smart kid. Sometimes he and Johnny were a little too smart for their own good, type of thing. So I don't know. Good question, Eric, on that. Hard to say. It's hard to say. Russell says, Silverado, good fare, good cast. I'm going to have to I gotta watch it. It's on the list. I'm going to watch it. No doubt. Michael Taylor says, they officially casted the guy to play in the new Superman movie. I forgot his name. I don't know. Good question. I don't know. Meyer says, Silverado, fun movie. Also, it used to be a good casino in Reno with a good buffet and inexpensive rooms. Oh. Eric says, please forgive me, but I do not recall the Halifax explosion incident. I need to watch it and learn. Yeah, huge thing. As a matter of fact, Eric, when I first saw this film a few years ago, it was like, I don't know, I want to say like 5 or 6 years ago, I saw this film. I was like, what the hell is this? What's the Halifax explosion? Much like you're doing right now. And then I saw the movie, and then I, read about it a bit. And I was like, holy crap. Well, why don't people know more about this? This was like a major catastrophe. Of course, it was 1917. That's the whole thing, It's like, yes, and in Canada, once again, I guess. But man, what an incredible, it's a great movie, folks. Halifax, Shattered City. Check it out on Tubi. You will not be disappointed. It is 3 hours. It is an epic disaster film that is not bullshit disaster film. It's the real McCoy. They really do it right. Let me put it that way. Mongo says, yeah, Eric, if done right, accurate to the cartoon. Chad says, Tubi has the old Western Trinity movies. Oh, that's right. They do have the Trinity movies. You're right, Chad. I saw one of those in there. Eric says, I think the Eastern Indian people would like Johnny Quest, but that certain element here in the USA would go on the rampage. Yeah, they would. But then maybe those Eastern Indian people would tell them to shut the hell up. That's the thing. Maybe Prime Minister Modi would have a special, like he would do an address to the world, and you'd be like, my fellow Americans, concerning Johnny Quest and Haji, we particularly like him. So shut the hell up with your liberal screeching, or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Michael Taylor says Sin City is a great looking movie. Yeah. Now this is Sin City, a Dame to Kill For. And it's not as good as the original Sin City, although it is entertaining. We're going to get to that. Oh, let's see. Werewolf. I ordered a major in-a-pack and a PS Artbook, $17 shipping to Australia. That's pretty damn good, Werewolf. Actually, that's not bad at all. Of course, it's Bud. It's Bud's Artbooks, man. They've got the system. Let's put it that way. They're very, very reasonable. I think for me, I pay like, if I order like a book and a magazine or a comic book, it's like $5 shipping here in the US. So they're just very reasonable with their shipping. Sin City is a great movie. Highly recommended. Yet the first one, yes. This one's also good. Look, I'm not knocking. I think it's good. It's just not as good as the original Sin City. Let's put it that way. And that's typically the way it is. Jacob says, first Sin City blew my mind. Indeed. And this one's good. It's good. Here, let's check it out, guys. Let's go back to Tubi. Hacksaw Ridge, another true story. This guy who's a pacifist, who refused to pick up a gun. He wanted to just go into the war as a medic. Desmond Doss, the true story of courageous Army medic Desmond Doss, who saved 75 men's lives during World War II without ever firing a shot. Andrew Garfield, lead role. Sam Worthington is in this. Hugo Weaving, Vince Vaughn, great role. Rachel Griffiths, directed by Mel Gibson. Hell of a fucking movie. If you have not seen it, check it out. I just watched it a few nights ago. Riveting freaking movie. Holy crap, man. It's hardcore. It is freaking hardcore. World War II in the Pacific. Okay. And Jesus Christ. It's great. Hacksaw Ridge. Sicario. Another one that's just if you haven't seen this freaking movie, you just gotta see it. I don't know what the hell to say. Sicario, assassin in Spanish. An idealistic FBI agent gets recruited for a perilous mission with an anti-drug task force on the U.S.-Mexico border. Woo! Holy shit, man. This is hardcore. It's really good. It gets into the nitty gritty of what's going on. U.S.-Mexico border, the harsh, grim reality of drugs, human trafficking, all of that shit, man. It's really quite a movie. I've seen it a couple of times. Once again, I just watched it last week, as it came on Tubi, and I was like, yep, watching that one. Highly recommended. Sicario. Here's Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. 2014, revenge is a way of life for the hard-boiled citizens of Sin City, who grapple with their inner demons in streets that run red with vice and violence. And of course, you just got a freaking laundry list of actors: Mickey Rourke, Jessica Alba, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Josh Brolin, Rosario Dawson, Bruce Willis, Powers Booth, Ray Liotta. Directed by Frank Miller and Robert Rodriguez. Very good. It's very good. I've seen it a couple of times. I'll probably watch it again. It's just really well done. It is not as good as the first one. That's just how shit goes. It's just the way that a lot of sequels just go. But that being said, it's still a good movie. If you just watch this and you'd never seen the first one, you would still be like, wow, this is really good. So there you go. Another kick-ass freaking movie, Midway, 2019. Woo! Man, another just amazing recent World War II film. 6 months after the Pearl Harbor attack, the U.S. Navy and a squad of fighter pilots turned the tide of the war in the middle of the North Pacific at Midway. Patrick Wilson, Woody Harrelson, Luke Evans, Mandy Moore. Of course, directed by Roland Emmerich. And I can't recommend this one enough. The attack at the beginning, the attack on Pearl Harbor, is just insane. It is insane. It's very gripping war, as they say, war action drama. It's just yes, big budget. They weren't holding back. It's Midway, folks. Hell of a film. Highly recommended. Go back here. Jacob says, Sicario set the standard for that kind of action film. It sure did. It's a hell of a movie. God, man. Michael Taylor says, Mike, how are you feeling now? Better than last week, Michael Taylor. So there has been an improvement. Definitely. As a matter of fact, I think within the next week or 2 weeks, I'm taking the kayak out. I'm feeling like it's getting to that. It's getting to kayak time. So that's really quite good. I'm going to see, I'm going to give it like several more days, but it's so far so good. Thanks for asking. Michael Taylor says, in most cases, the first is usually the best. Typically, yes. Meyer says, a lineup of heavy hitters this week. Yes, these are just hardcore. And you know how it goes, folks. Look, I don't usually champion big budget films because they really don't have much of an excuse, do they? It's kind of like if you got 50 million or $100 million, you better have a damn good movie. And if you don't, then you don't know what the fuck you're doing. That's basically it. That your movie should be damn good. And these films, obviously, these are. Look, man, all of these. Hacksaw Ridge, Sicario. I don't know about Sin City, but it must have been a $20 to $30 million budget. I'm sure of it. Midway, easily 50, 60 million. Sicario, 20, 30 million easily. Once again, Hacksaw Ridge gotta be maybe even like 50 million on that big budget, but they're all really good. I mean, they really come through. They don't bullshit around. They put that money on the screen and less of it up their nose. That's the key right there. Jacob, you're sounding better for sure. Thank you, Jacob. Yeah, I'm definitely, feeling, it's one of those things. It's a process. Chad says, I need to rewatch the Jurassic Park movies, and they're all there, folks. All of the Jurassic, look, check this out. Since I'm at the end, look, I'm going to go up here. I've got a couple more. Squadron 303, once again, the battle for Britain. Looks interesting. I have not seen it. Okay. It is from Shout TV. Fortress of War, another one, 2010, looks really good. I've not seen that one yet. I've also not seen The Last Sentinel. Now, this is a sci-fi thriller from 2023, brand new. I don't know. I put it on the list. I'm going to have to watch a trailer on YouTube, but it sounds interesting. This one I have seen, 6 Days from 2016. Once again, another good one. This is like, what are they? Yeah, action drama thriller. I guess that's really what it is. The story, this is also based upon a real event. The story of the 6-day ordeal in April of 1980, when gunmen stormed the Iranian embassy in London and took 26 hostages, and the ensuing rescue operation. 6 days. You got to check it out. It's really well done. I really dug the hell out of this movie. It is now on Tubi. Highly recommended. 6 days. But as we will see here, I'll just put this up. Yeah. Jurassic. Well, here we go. Just so you guys are aware, they added Jurassic World, Jurassic Park 3. And then they've got like a mockbuster. Somebody made Jurassic Attack. Mockbuster. Oh, yeah. Hilarious. And then, of course, they have Jurassic Shark, Jurassic City, Jurassic Shark, Aquapocalypse. Believe it or not, they actually made that Jurassic Shark 2 Aquapocalypse. The second time's the chum. Okay, folks. And not to forget Jurassic Galaxy. Okay. And Jurassic Prey, Jurassic Planet, Jurassic School. Some exploitation for the kids, of course. Jurassic Punk. Sure, why not? Why the hell not? And of course, here's the Lost World, Jurassic Park, and Jurassic Games. Rise of the Jurassic. There you go. Jurassic Island. Naturally. Unfreaking believable. In any case, they do have, the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park 3. So there you go. And this one, right? Oh, this is what the hell? This is the Lost World. Okay, wait, I'm getting confused here. Okay, this is the Lost World, whatever the fuck. There's 4, you know, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. There's 4 Jurassic Park movies. And then there's a bunch of stuff like Jurassic Shark, Aquapocalypse, okay, and Jurassic Attack. I'm waiting for Jurassic Exorcist. That should be pretty good. In any case, yeah, there's a lot of that shit. Unbelievable, folks. Just freaking unbelievable. Michael Taylor says, yeah, I was diagnosed recently with vertigo, but for the last 4 days I've been feeling fine. Well, yeah, and you definitely want to stay, you know, on the ground. I think that's probably one of the things. You don't want to really go up into towers and stuff like that, right? I mean, that's seems like the basic premise for trying to avoid vertigo, Michael Taylor. I mean, are you taking pills for that? Is there some kind of a like anti-vertigo pill? I don't know. Never thought about it. Eric says, you got to love the rip-off blockbuster movies, at least the titles. Yeah, I know. They're great. Mockbusters. That's what they are. Mockbusters. Look, the guy, Ted Chalmers, this guy from, he runs Tomcat Films and Summerhill Films. He's the guy that picked up my film originally in 2016, First Man on Mars, for domestic and international distribution. Ted Chalmers is known as the king of the mockbusters. He is the kind of guy that does stuff like, you know, Jurassic Apocalypse and all that type of stuff. He is pretty much known as that king of the mockbusters. So yeah, I had my run-in with all of that shit. A little too much, I'm afraid. Russell says some people just have no imagination. Yeah, they it's just a money thing, man. And if you really think about it, Russell, the Jurassic Park people, that's what they're doing. They're just making money off of the original Jurassic Park films or film or novel. I don't know how many novels Crichton wrote, but I am sure he didn't. You know, they're exploiting a winning formula. So it doesn't really take that much seriously to do that either. But then you're just going to get all these freaks that come in with this cheap CGI dinosaur animation or giant shark, Jurassic shark garbage, you know. Michael Taylor says, I like the first Jurassic Park. I haven't seen the others. Usually when they start making tons of sequels, I tend to, because they tend to go downhill. That's just kind of the way, you know, it goes. Chad says, glad to hear you're doing better, Mike. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate it, man. Michael Taylor says, thank you, Eric. I'm grateful for that. Jacob says, when I was 9 when Jurassic Park came out. One of the best theater experiences I ever had. The water vibrating in the cup brings me right back. Oh, yeah. Classic. Eric says, a lot of people with heart conditions have vertigo, blood pressure issues, or head injuries. I know. There you go. Mockbusters have to remember that term. Yeah, mockbusters. That's what they are, Eric. They're just cheap blockbuster ripoffs. Ripoffs of blockbusters. Mockbusters. Michael Taylor says, yes, they've prescribed meds for me if needed. Ah, good. Russell says, yeah, but then I can stomach their stories. Ah, okay. Werewolf says, Jurassic Shark, written by Michael Bite Them. Eric says, the international black market for DVDs and Blu-rays is pretty strong. I've seen several channels that show it. Hell yeah. God, are you kidding? Oh my God, man. Look, when I was living in Peru, holy shit, holy Toledo. I mean, the way the whole Peruvian thing works. Now, granted, you can get Netflix, for instance, in Peru, but it's only got copyright, stuff that is allowed to be shown in South America. And that would include a lot of American titles and stuff as well. But typically speaking, what you do is you go down to El Mercado in El Centro de Lima, and you're going to find these, what they call El Hueco, the hole, which is like a huge freaking place you go into, and you have like 100 Blu-ray and DVD dealers, and it's all completely contraband. It's all fake. It's all just they get get masters from Eastern Europe or wherever the fuck, and they just grind out the copies. So they sell they're just blank discs. They redo the covers and they put them in a bag with the DVD, and and it's like they're like 50 cents or $1, something like that. That's how they'd be doing it in Peru. And you just get a buttload of these mockbusters. They have just walls. You just look and once again, you'd see all those Jurassic Shark fucking things and all that shit. Yes, indeed. Okay, what was the joke here? Jacob says, werewolf, that took me longer than I'd like to admit. Oh, okay. Jurassic Shark, written by Michael Bite Them. Okay, guys. Folks, that ends another spine-tingling episode of the Horror Mike Show for Friday night. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I am glad, really glad to see a couple of you guys have gone after the Space Ace comic book, the Major Impact Space Ace, once again available on Bud Plant's website, and I have dropped that link in the description. So that's something to at least bookmark, and when you got $5 laying around, get it. It's just one of those things. It's an absolute no-brainer. Easy Comic Reader says, gracias, Mike. De nada. Easy Comic Reader. Jacob Bornowski says, great show, Horror Mike. Thank you. Take care, everyone. Eric, everyone, have a great Friday night. Have a great weekend as well. You guys, everybody, have a great weekend. Indeed. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, everyone, for attending the show tonight. And next week should be a doozy. I know that Tubi is ready to drop they're ready to drop a good load of exploitation films. I know it. I know that they're definitely gearing up for that. So I think we're going to see some good ones next week. And Werewolf by Lunchtime says, entertaining show as usual. Thank you, Werewolf. Eric, hasta la pasta, indeed. Good God, guys. You guys take care, and I will talk to you soon.